जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके अपनी कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। We will all bow down at the lotus feet of Shri Mata Ji, raise our kundalini and put ourselves in bandhan. नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अब हम सब श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी को सुनेंगे। In this meditative state, let us now listen to Shri Mata Ji's Amritvani.
Today we are celebrating in Switzerland the coronation of Sri Rama on Dashera Day. Many things happened on Dashera Day. The most important was that Sri Rama was coronated as a king on this day. He also killed Ravana on this day. Many may say that how can it be he killed Ravana and he was coronated on the same date. In those days in India, we had supersonic aeroplanes. And it's a fact. And the aeroplane's name was Pushpak, meaning the flower. It was called as Pushpak and it has a tremendous speed. So after killing Ravana, he came to Ayodhya with his wife and that was the day he was crowned. On the 9th day he worshipped the goddess to get strength, Shakti for his weapons. And the 10th day he killed Ravana. So you can imagine how much advanced people were there at the time of Sri Rama and his kingdom. The reason was the king was an incarnation. Also, he was a benevolent king, as described by Socrates. Sri Rama's story is very interesting throughout, and we have now a beautiful series about him done by our television in India, which is sold for a very good price. Maybe we might be able to present you all with one when you come there. But the story of Rama, they say, was written before he was born. Even before there was any inkling of it, the seer Valmiki wrote the whole story of Sri Rama. Sri Rama's birth and all that are brought forth by the Agni, the fire. And he was born in the dynasty of the Surya, is the sun. So with all that, born out of the blessings of the Agni, that is fire, and also was born in the dynasty of Surya. He was one of the mildest avataras you have ever had. He is known to be a very English language, formal person, in the sense, Sankoch, that he would go to any extent to bear upon himself the problems than to tell others to do something. We still had many people in India like that. Like we had one Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. And if he was sitting in the room and there are people sitting and this electricity was on somehow, say by light or something, and he wants to put it off, he would not ask anyone to put it off. Slowly he'll get up from his seat, walk up to the switch and just put it off, so that he shouldn't ask for it. This is one of the greatest quality of Sri Rama, that he would not make anyone do anything for him or order anything or would use someone for their purpose. See, he was the blessing of fire and born in the Surya. But what we find, those people who are born maybe in very lowly families, in the negative families, the left-sided as you can call it, with all kinds of problems, have a terrible agya and a terrible Surya in them. The person who is born in the Surya has to be extremely humble. He is the one who shows that nothing can affect, nothing can make him feel that he is something great. Now, when we see his life further, he was a very humble man. We've seen now people who try to despise others. I don't like you. I don't like. It's not good. It's very difficult. It's a sign that such a person is extremely low in character. Has no character at all, but is low in character. Anybody who has any character is shown by the tolerance he has of other people. Intolerance is a sign of a person who is extremely egoistical and is vain, there's vanity. Sri Rama was so much loved by the people where he ruled in that state, and he had the most beautiful wife of the most venerated father Janaka, and who was the beloved son of his father. But he was such an humble man, that in all his character you see the beauty. Like he was going by a little boat when he went for his exile. And the one who was taking him was an ordinary boatman. And the boatman was feeling very much upset that he's sitting before the king of Ayodhya and he doesn't have proper clothes. So Sri Rama, who was himself was wearing nothing but valkalas, are the clothes which are worn by the village people or worn by the people who live in the primitive areas, only kind of leaves that they have. He had to wear that because his mother, the stepmother, asked for that kind of a boon from the father. And then Sri Rama just told him, "Why are you worried? I'm wearing this, I'm no more a king. I'm sitting before you like this. You should be quite comforted. And I really don't know how to steer the boat, while you know how to steer the boat. So why should you be worried?" Like that, he kept even the people who we would call as low in society at a very high pedestal. Which shows that he respected human beings. He himself is called as Maryada Purushottama. Means he was the one who knew how far to go with someone, Maryada. How to talk to someone, how to approach someone. While we find people who misbehave, even with their husbands, with their wives, with their children, with everyone, and also outside they are about to jump on others. That's absolutely against Rama. It's like Ravana. Even Ravana was not like this. He was also of not that nature. Because he had certain dharmas within him. He was a realized soul, but he had become a Rakshasa because he became arrogant. But even his arrogance cannot be matched with many modern people and modern girls and men that I hear and see, that it is surprising they have really surpassed Ravana. Ravana only had 10 heads, but sometimes I feel that the modern men might have, or the women especially, might have 108 heads. The arrogance, the amount of expression of hatred is so ridiculous and makes a person look so useless. But I see such people very common, and in Sahaja Yoga also they crawl somehow. Actually, such people are absolutely despised by God Almighty. You go further with his life. See, he went and into the village where a very old woman who was belonging to the primitive class of Bhils had very few teeth, and she brought some fruits, little fruits we call as pear. And she brought and gave it to him. That's Sri Ram. You see, I have got these for you. I don't have anything else. And these, I have tested all of them. Actually in India, if you put in the mouth, it is uttishta. Nobody will touch it. But she says, I have tested all of them by piercing my teeth into it, and I have seen that none of them are sour. Shri Rama didn't like sour fruits, she knew. So none of them are sour, and you can have them. I mean, in a way, if it is done to somebody in the West, they will hit you hard. Immediately Sri Rama rushed forward and took the beads from her hand, kissed her hands, said, all right, I'm going to have them. With such enthusiasm, he ate them. So Lakshmana was a little angry at that lady. What's this going on? So Sita ji said, oh, do you like them very much? She said, yes, but I'm not going to give you anything. She said, no, I'm your half body, you have to give me. So he gave some to Sita ji. So Sita ji ate, what a thing, it's like nectar of heaven I'm eating. So Lakshmana felt very jealous. He said, sister-in-law, can I not have a little of it? He said, no, I can't give you. You ask your brother. I'm not going to give you. I have a very little share. Why don't you ask your brother? So he goes to his brother. He said, can I have some more? So Sri Rama smiled and gave him that bear, which was eaten or touched or was pierced by the teeth of a primitive woman who is actually an outcast according to the Brahmanic laws of India. The sweetness of Sri Rama, the way he used to make people feel comfortable. Like I would say an example of a oyster who gets a little stone into the body of the shell, takes out a kind of a shiny liquid and covers it with that shiny liquid and makes it into a pearl to be comfortable. Now, he didn't want his own comfort. Rama a little bit different, that he wanted to make everyone into a diamond or a pearl so that the other person would shine and would look nice. And that's how he felt comforted. His qualities, if you have to imbibe, first of all, we have to understand the innate situation of Sri Rama. Sri Rama is placed on the right hand side of your heart. Right hand side, right heart. He is placed there. Now, in a human being, there is no right heart. If you tell somebody there's right heart, they say, what? There are 2 hearts or 3 hearts? In our Sahaja Yoga, we have 3 hearts. One is the left, another is the right, and one is the center. Now, the right heart is a very important thing. The right heart looks after the whole lungs, both the lungs, or the throat, the trachea, the nose, the inner part. The outer side is looked after, we can say the features are given by Sri Krishna. But the inner part of it is all done by Sri Rama. They are the same, but one acts as in the inner part, the another as the outer part. It gives you the ears. From the inner part, Sri Rama does. He gives you the eyes in the inner part of the eyes. Now, it's so important to have the inner side all right and the outer side. Is an example of Sri Rama. He never cared for the outer side or the outward looks of a person. Because he came before Sri Krishna, he tried to build up the inner side of a human being. So we can say, though he is on the right heart, he acts through your Hamsa Chakra and partly through your Vishuddhi Chakra in the inner side of it. Because Sri Krishna, in the inner side of it, is Sri Ram, is Sri Vishnu. So when somebody is say, not good looking according to the Western standard. According to me, the Western standards are rather funny. Because Western standards don't look like, neither like Krishna or Sri Rama. The person like Sri Rama was a very healthy, tall person with his hands up to the knees. Ajanubhav. He is the one who has Ajanubhav. And he was plump. Both of them were plump. They had to be plump people because they were, though they were born of the Agni, he was born of the Agni, but the water is the main element of Sri Vishnu. So they were all plump people. They were not thin like sticks, as today's modern ideas are, to be thin like sticks and like to be patients. But it doesn't mean all plump people are good. We always logically think that plump people are, if mother says so, then plump people are good. It's not the point. The inner side of it, I'm saying. The inner side of it is just the opposite. Inner side of it is absolutely beautiful and absolutely full of love, affection and warmth. A person who doesn't have these things is a sign of a person who is not a surgeon, first of all. A person who is very loud, talks loudly, speaks loudly, laughs at wrong places, must be half mad, but cannot be a surgeon. See, the softness of Sri Rama goes to the extremes where I call the sankocha, the formality, the formal. But it is in English language, formal is not the word, sankoch. He was once, when he was fighting Ravana, he was taking out with his arrow his 10 heads one after another. And if he took out one, then took out the second, the first one would come back. So because he had a kind of a blessing that nobody can kill him by hitting him on his head. So Lakshmana says, you know for definite that this Ravana cannot be killed by hitting on his head. So why don't you hit him in his heart? So he said, the reason is this, that just now in his heart is Mahalakshmi, the Sita. Sita is sitting in his heart. And how can I hit him on his heart? Because she's there, she might be hurt. So what's the use of hitting on the head, he said. He said, because once I start hitting him on the head fast, his attention will go there. As soon as his attention will go into his head, then I can hit him on his heart. See the sankoch. See the sankoch, the way he talked. Now we have, see now what's wrong with you? Why are you all the time smiling and like that? Why can't you keep quiet? What is there to smile about certain things where you don't have to smile? Keep quiet. Now, then what happened? That he was so kind once when a very ugly woman, Shurpanakha, came to entice him. And she said, she came to entice, she said that Rama, why don't you marry me? I mean, to a person like Rama, who is Maryada Purushottama, to ask such a horrible questions. Somebody would have really beaten her up, if not anything else. So Sri Ram smiled. He said, Madam, I'm sorry, I have a wife and I believe in one wife, Eka Patni Vrat. So I'm sorry I can't marry you. But mischievously says, all right, my brother is there, his wife is left in Ayodhya, you can ask. So he went to her and he asked, she went to him and asked, Lakshmana, why don't you marry me? She had become very beautiful. She has transformed herself to a beautiful woman. She must have gone to some beauty parlor or something. But she made herself like that. And she was there. And he looked at her so angry. He said, you the ugly, why do you want to ask such a question? He cut her nose. When he cut her nose, that was in Nasik, and that's why Nasika means the nose, and that's why you have been to Nasik. That's the place where he cut her nose. He was very angry. But Sri Rama did not. He said in a way that's very convincing that, see, I have a wife, and I am a person who believes in my one wife. Now another character about him was that he was consistent. He was never inconsistent like Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was a diplomat, and diplomacy is in being inconsistent. Sri Krishna's style was different. But why, what's the matter with you? Why, what is it? You come and sit here, this side. Come along, Tina. Come and sit on the other side. Why do you talk to her? Go and sit at the back. Go. She's already given me a very bad time in Pune. And now here she is. While I'm talking, please don't talk to each other. This is the least you can do to me. Have you seen any Indians behaving like this? It's very disturbing. I'm concentrating on you while you are not concentrating on me. It's all right when there's a joke, something you laugh, but what's the need to talk to each other? I can't understand. All right. Sorry, I had to say that. You see, at the time when I'm discussing Sri Rama. Sri Rama would not have said that. But in Sahaja Yoga, you can't carry on like Sri Rama. Sometimes you have to be like Parshurama also. Otherwise things don't work out. Now, when it went ahead with it in his character, which was so beautiful, that you find he was such a consistent person. Whatever he said, all the life he carried that. For example, he said, I'm the one who believes in one wife. Eka Patni Vrat. Now he had a very nice wife, no doubt, very beautiful wife, but she had gone to Ravana and he was left alone. When they wanted to start a kind of a yajna called as Rajasuya Yajna, which was meant to be the conquering the whole world. Then they asked him, you have to marry because you have to have your wife. They said, no, I can't marry because nobody could be like my wife and I can't marry. I can forego this kind of a yajna, but I can't marry again. So then they said, all right, there's only one thing you can do is to make a statue of Sita in gold. And you have to use her, that statue, as a wife representing. He said, that I will agree. He took away all his ornaments, everything, and made that statue, and he did this again. So whatever he said, he followed thoroughly. In his dharma, he was perfect. Another incident is that when Sita was lost, he never slept. He never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. Never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. The pain he had of his wife is very well described by all the poets of India. And when Sita left him ultimately, in a very mysterious way, she just disappeared in the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth had given her birth, so she disappeared into Mother Earth. Then Sri Rama became absolutely lost, and he jumped in the river Sharayu and disappeared in the water element from where he had come. Now this man had to give up his wife. In these contrasts, you can see the wave rising and falling of a personality. The society in which he lived, the state which he ruled, had an objection for a wife who had lived with Ravana. And the public started talking about it. So as a good king, he just decided that his wife should be left forever. And then he sent her on a beautiful chariot with his prime minister and his brother Lakshmana, who took her down and left her, told her this is what has happened, and that Sri Rama has asked her to take you down to the ashram of Valmiki. As a result of that, she got very upset, and she said, she was Adi Shakti, so she doesn't have to bother. She said, you just leave me here. Very self-respecting person. She didn't say, no, I'll come to him, or I'll sue him, I'll go in the courts, get all his money, how dare he throw me out. Nothing of the kind. That's the grace of a woman. Graciously, she said, all right, now you have listened to your brother, I'm your sister-in-law elder too. Now you obey me. And I tell you as your sister-in-law that you can now go, leave me here alone, and I don't want you to go any further with me to deport me with somebody. And she was pregnant. Here if it happens, of course, horrible things can happen. But in India, if such a thing happens, the wife will kill herself or she won't be able to bear it. I think both things are just the same in escape. If there is no aggression, then there is recession. But she said, no, I have to give birth to these two children. I can look after myself. All right, graciously he's done it, I have nothing. And please tell him not to worry about me. And she told Sri Rama, Sri Lakshmana, that all right, you look after him. That's all I want. And she told the chief minister, the mantri, that you must look after the kingdom. See the dignity, see the balance, see the character, the personality of Shri. He was called as Maryada Purushottama. And look at his wife. She was equal to him in every way. When she was kept by Ravana, Ravana was so frightened of her Shakti that he would not touch her. He used to frighten her. Say, I'll do this to you, the women of India, I'll do this to the women of the world, I'll do that kind of a horrible thing, I'll take another birth, I'll misbehave. She said, do what you like. You cannot touch me. He could not touch her hand. He was so frightened. And when Hanumana brought the ring of Sri Rama and presented to her and said that this is the ring of Sri Rama. She said, yes, I know. How is he? He said, all right. All inquiries she had about herself. So he said, Mother, I can take you on my back. I can easily take you. You come on my back and I'll take you. She said, no, I won't go with you. It's Sri Rama who is a brave king. He should come himself, fight this Ravana, kill him because he is evil. And then I will go with him with all the glory. She was not frightened of anything. For her, the important thing was that Ravana should be killed. He is evil and he should be killed by Rama. Such a great courage for a woman. Both sides, if you see, you'll be surprised that how a woman's character is such a powerful thing. It's not a reactionary thing. My husband is like this, that's why I'm like that. Or my husband doesn't do this for me, that's why I'm like that. My husband has gone away, so I'm finished. What am I to do without my husband? Nothing of the kind. She stands on her feet. She said no to Hanumana, and she stands on her feet and she says, when Rama will come and kill this evil and remove this evil from this earth, then only he can take me with him. I won't go with you. I won't escape. I won't run away. Nothing. I am going to face it myself here. For a woman, it is too much to say, to be imprisoned in a horrible person's jail or in a place which is so dangerous for her. To say that I won't go. Whatever you may try, whatever tricks you may try, whatever you may say, I won't go. Just imagine. And Ravana was such a horrid fellow. He did all kinds of things to her, but she kept absolutely calm and quiet, waiting for her husband to come back. Can we think of such women in modern times? So satisfied with themselves, so much in balance, so much full of confidence and strength. This is the message of Sita's life.
अब हम श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे. We will now offer आरती to श्री माता जी. सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय। श्री माता जी, आपका कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद माँ कि आपने हमें आपके श्री चरणों की आराधना करने का ये अवसर प्रदान किया। थैंक यू श्री माता जी for giving us this chance to worship your holy lotus feet. जय श्री माता जी।
Thank you.